Hey, this is Edmont coming to you with a headquarters level 18 war factory video. We've got a new layout today, which is pretty nice. I'm going to start by removing the shock blaster. Then we'll go on to the rocket launchers and finally the flamethrowers behind the core. Head up the side, get behind the core. Then we should have a blind spot to take it out. The lasers may be an issue. Actually, they'll likely be an issue, but we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm not 100% sure how much space there is behind the flamethrowers, so we'll have to have a look first. So I'm going to start by using artillery and barrage on the rocket launchers. If I calculated this right, I should have a fair bit of gunboat energy left at the end. But of course my calculations are based on barrage, which my barrages tend to miss more often than not. So as expected, barrages did not hit at a terribly good rate. I tend to use 86% on the calculators. I clearly had worse luck than that. So what I'm going to do is drop some zookas here in this bottom corner, get some free gunboat energy, and just try to clear some extra mines up around the core. If I had grenadiers loaded, this would be a great place for free gunboat energy. Don't have time for that, so we're probably going to hit those mines and lose a lot of zookas, but I only need one more. There we go. I've got enough to clear these mines now. And let's retreat. And I lost the majority of my troops, so not ideal, but we got an extra artillery out of it, so I'm going to call that a win. Now moving on to our second attack. So let's have a look here. So yeah, these lasers are making me nervous. It's too close. There's no way that the zookas won't spread down into their range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop an artillery on the two lasers and then use my flare on the shock blaster. That way the shock blaster will go down and the zookas will automatically attack the laser afterwards. They don't do anything silly like attack the machine gun or something ridiculous like that. So first we're going to drop our artillery. Now the standard 3 smokes, the first one in the corner, second one slightly above halfway, and then all our zookas dropped in that corner. So there's a little bit of a gap, but no lasers are firing at us yet. Next flare up into that corner, overlap our smokes. Walking through lasers is treacherous, especially when there's like 15 of them or whatever that is. So now this flare might be a little bit too far from that left-hand laser, but we'll find out here in a second. So we're going to use 4 shocks. Really wish that shock blaster went down in 1, but yeah, this is not. I was a little bit too far from the laser. I just didn't have the damage to kill the shock blaster in one hit, so not a fantastic hit, but we're still doing all right. Not bad for 2 hits. We're pretty much ready to get up in behind the core. So 29,000 health. That'll take a fair bit of gunboat energy to remove, especially with my lower level artillery and barrage. But we should be able to pull it off. So let's have a hit here. So we've got a fair bit of room back there. Not as much as I'd like behind the flamethrowers, though. So let's hit. Here we go. Okay, so now artillery. 60 gunboat energy to get behind core isn't ideal, but we should be able to pull it off. 1, 2, 3. Oh, laser took a couple, but not the end of the world. This corner, I always flare to this corner. Oh, jeez, that was ugly. There's no gap there, is there? This corner is the most useful corner that I tend to find. You might be able to flare all the way behind core from shore, but it's just too far to scroll, and my flares would run out of it anyways, so not a big deal. Now I don't have many troops left, holy. Hopefully we can at least take one flamethrower down. That was ugly. That was awful, but at least we have another 2 attacks. Not sure if anyone noticed the in-game news today or not, but Supercell has added a new event called the Imitation Game, which brings the number of events from 6 to 7, which will be fantastic, as it will mean War Factory will be every Thursday, Dr. Terror on Saturday, Sunday, and there'll be no more, for me anyways, it'll mean no more trying to rush War Factory on a busy Saturday afternoon or something like that. So now let's get into our 4th attack. We're gonna do our standard smoke drop. Talked about this too much already. Of course I lose more troops to the lasers. This seems to be a trend. Now we're gonna move up into our corner. Try and overlap a bit better here. These lasers are gonna give people headaches. I'm curious to hear how people do on this week. The number one comment I see is that lasers wrecked people, so it'll be interesting to see if that's the case yet again today. So we're going to get into this corner, and holy, are they ever spreading low? Why are you going so low? Get back up there. Oh man, another failure to get up there. Okay, so hopefully we can get this flamethrower down at least. Okay, so we've at least got our gap behind the core. Won't be able to finish it. These boom cannons are going to finish us off fairly quickly, but getting back to that point, yeah, it feels like every time after crab happens, people get a bit of a crab hangover because they've just been playing so much, and then they come back and realize that it's just the same events over and over again. So kudos to Supercell for dropping a new event, dropping a new operation attack, adding barbed wire. Was really well timed. Even if it's just teasers at this point, I think it's really, really smart to do it after crab, because we always seem to have players leave our task force right after crab because they just played too much in the last little bit and the game gets a bit stale. So well timed, and I'm really happy they added those 2 features, and we'll have to see how they pan out. And yeah, I'm curious to see what the rewards for the Imitation Game are going to be, because like this week's War Factory, for example, has terrible, terrible rewards. What are we looking at? Like 340,000 stone, some wood and some iron, a couple prototypes. Not terribly useful. So anyways, let's hopefully take it down our 5th attack here. I'm going to try and get my smokes extra tight. See if we can actually get up there without losing troops for once. I shouldn't need any gunboat energy up there. Let's turn this volume up a bit. I shouldn't need any gunboat energy behind core except for shocks. So I'm just going to keep my smokes really, really tight. Double smoke the end. Now I don't want to head too far to the left because there's actually a shock launcher over there. So I'm going to try and just stay in the top back right hand corner. Reflare behind core, reposition. 1 shock. Good enough for a 2nd shock, but we shouldn't need it. Let's drop it anyways. And down it goes. Not an uneventful War Factory, that's for sure. Colonel Gearhart definitely put up a fight this time. It's so nice. The last, 10 War Factories have been one of 2 layouts, so fantastic that they changed things up a bit. I don't remember seeing this layout ever before. I could be wrong. If you've seen it before, please let me know in the comments, but overall, not bad attacks, not fantastic, but for Unboosted and level 46, I think it's pretty good. Hopefully they can help you beat War Factory without much difficulty, though. My general feeling is that it's usually helpful to be able to see the attacks first so that you can build on top of them. So just to wrap up, if you're looking for a task force and you're above level 46 and have offensive statues, look up Small 9 and we'd love to have you. Thanks for watching.